The voice, the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the Record.
For the Record. For the Record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the Record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the Record.
For the Record. For the Record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is the 7th day of February 2022 right here in the Cayman Islands. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, again, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. My understanding is that there is some precipitation in some parts of the island, which means that the roads are wet. That also means that you should adjust your driving to suit the road conditions. You should increase the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. That allows you to stop more easily. The closer you are, the more difficult it is to stop. Also, during the course of the day when the road is dry, the oil from cars or vehicles has a tendency to build up. So when the rain first comes down, that is when the road surface is most dangerous, because you then have the water mixing with the oil and makes it extremely slippery. So please, please be extremely cautious out there, especially when it is raining. Of course, bearing in mind also that your visibility is reduced during the rain as well. By doing all of this, remember, the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, belated happy birthday as well. And Lord Graham is sending happy belated birthday greetings, first of all, to his beautiful daughter, Sarah Sue, over in the Brac. And she shares a birthday with the great one and only Robert Nesta Marley, Bob Marley. Also, Deputy Leader and Minister of Finance, Honorable Chris Saunders, celebrated a birthday on the 6th of February also. So belated happy birthday greetings to him. Of course, we heard former Minister, Mr. Ralston Anglin, celebrated one on Saturday as well. And yours truly celebrated one, and I want to thank all of those who extended birthday greetings to me. If I didn't respond on Facebook, I'm really not a social media person, and I did see several greetings on there. Also on Radio Cayman's show, I was also featured on Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone for the kind words and wishes, from everyone. So many people have birthdays in February. My colleague, grew up together. Ned Solomon, he celebrates a birthday later on this month as well, the 13th of February. Ned Solomon and I go back a long, long way. We didn't go to school together because Ned attended, a different school but we were close friends, and we would always use each other to get, if we wanted to go fishing, Ned would tell his mother, Ord is going, or OC is going, Miss Myrtle is letting him go. And I would do the same thing with my mother, tell her that Miss Marley is letting Ned go. So that's how we played, each paired off against each other, and we usually got to go where we wanted to go, as well. So Ned, Telford, Denley, some of you know him as Shaft, Denley Stewart, he probably celebrated one earlier. I keep forgetting the date, but someone please remind me of the date so I can specifically say when his birthday is or was, as well. But so many people celebrating birthdays in February, and we want to wish everyone a happy birthday as well. For those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. Again, I want to extend sincere condolences to Miss Karen Gazung, her sister, and all of the other family members as well on the loss of their loved one. And yesterday they gave her a great send-off in East End, funeral service, well attended as well. So I just want to say to Miss Karen and to her family, stay strong. These are extremely difficult times, and when you are so close to someone and you have so many memories to share about that person, especially when you talk about the sacrifices that they made to get you to where you are today. It takes a long time if you ever get over the feeling. And those of you who have lost loved ones, will know exactly how that is. And I don't want to downplay all of the other persons and families who have lost loved ones as well, and we want to extend our sincere condolences to you also. Those of you who are ill, whether at home or at a medical facility, we want to wish you a speedy recovery as well. And again, I want to single out the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly and hope and trust that she is doing well. I think the news that we got last week was, I think she was back, Miss Susan, was she back at home in the back, Miss Julie? But if she's out of the hospital, we hope and we trust that everything is well with her. We want to wish her a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Art Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. This morning, again, it is that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. Those calls can be made by calling us on our toll-free number, provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261. And, of course, follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. Also, I want to mention that Mr. Ray Hides, or those who know him as Minister Ray Hides, also will be celebrating a birthday on the 18th of this month, as well. So we're going to wish him one when it before it comes, and of course on the 18th, I'm not sure what day the 18th is, whether or not it'll be a show on that date, but we will give him a big shout out again as well. 18 is on a Friday, Miss Susan tells me. So yes, on the Friday we will give Minister Ray Hides a big shout out as well. I'm told that we have 2 callers on hold, so I want to take those calls before we go to our commercial break. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, Mr. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
All right. I'm going to add a little pinch of to what you said earlier about the...
You're breaking up. Caller, are you there?
Sir.
Yeah, try now. Go ahead.
Yes. You hearing me?
Yes, I am now. Yes, thank you.
Okay. I'm switching speaker to the other. Okay, I'm on one speaker now.
Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. Just I want to add a little grain of, I don't like salt because salt is not the same pressure. So just add a little seasoning. I use seasoning instead of saying salt. To what you said earlier. When it comes down to the wet road, if the road is dry, you want to use 1 vehicle length for every 10 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's wet, you're going to double the distance.
Right.
And if you're in slow-moving traffic, you should be able to be seen where the rear wheel of the vehicle in front is making contact with the road surface.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't see the rear tire making contact with the road surface, you are traveling too close to the vehicle in front. And it's called tailgating.
Yes.
And you make that driver feel uncomfortable.
Okay. What about the use of lights if it's raining?
If it's raining and if visibility gets poor, you should be using your low beam light.
Mm-hmm. The reason I'm asking you these questions because I think I know who I'm talking to, and you know what you're talking about.
Yes, I don't think so. I know so. Yes. Good.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that information. And yes, we want to continue to remind our listeners out there, those who are driving. Unfortunately, and sometimes when I'm driving down, I'm hoping that those persons who are driving carelessly on the road, when I get into the studio and I start to talk about it, I hope that if they're out of their cars, that they have switched the radio Cayman and that they're listening, to what we have to say, because we don't want it to fall on deaf ears how important it is to drive safely on the roads. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Can I go ahead and talk now?
Yes, you can, but I'm getting some background noise.
Problem.
Okay, go right ahead.
I'm calling concerning the stipend. Okay?
Uh-huh.
The thing is, we have been getting the stipend for almost 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem that we have people that are getting the stipend plus $950. People, there's taxi drivers, there's people that went to sea that is getting a $950 plus by having taxis and having boats in rotation applied for the $1,500. So in all, they're getting $1,500 plus $950. Now, when I called the labor office, which is under Mr. Saunders, it was said that I'm over 60. I cannot apply for the $950. I have to wait until the stipend is finished and then go to social services. This is not right.
Okay.
This is terribly wrong, because the thing is this, now we have had to fill out another questionnaire, and we have till tomorrow, and of course the same taxi drivers and the same boat owners is going to put on their application that they are unemployed, but at the same time they are receiving the $950 plus the $1,500, and that is not right and fair to us who is now 60 and over, and we cannot apply now. We have to wait for the stipend to finish and then go through social services. That is terribly wrong.
So is it because of the fact that you have reached the retirement age, or the age that you could retire at? Why you're limited and not able to get the $950?
I am now over 60.
Mm-hmm.
These people, the taxi drivers, was getting the $950
Mm-hmm.
before the stipend. Boat owners was getting the $950 because they went to sea before the stipend. Okay? And now they have applied for the stipend, and they're getting $1,500 plus the $950. And we that have turned 60 and over is being told by the labor office that we cannot apply for the $950 until the stipend is finished. And that is terribly wrong.
Okay. What we'll try to do is see if we can get some clarification on what the issue is, and hopefully back here on For the Record on Wednesday or Friday we can explain the whole situation so that everyone gets a clear understanding of what is transpiring. Caller, I want to thank you very much for that, and just to say to you, we'll try to follow up on it as well. Folks, we have to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Irvin Theophilus Ebanks, 1889-1965. Irvin Ebanks was the son of James and Jessica Ebanks of Northside. He was an ambitious, hardworking, and industrious man. He cared for his family and friends, especially those of Northside, many of whom called him Governor. He and his wife Maggie, née McLaughlin, had 6 children. Like so many Caymanian men, he spent many of his younger years as a seaman and worked in the United States. On his return home from sea, he worked in many areas, serving Northside as a carpenter, farmer, merchant, barber, cobbler, tooth extractor, and telephone service provider. He also served as a member of the Assembly for several years. He was loved and respected by all who knew him.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place, helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Make your house into a home Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Thinking of getting a hybrid but don't know much about them? Vamp Motors has 3 great reasons why you should own the Toyota CHR. Hybrids save fuel, run cleaner, reduce CO2 emissions, and even recharge their batteries while being driven. So there's no need to plug in a hybrid, making it both economical and fun to drive. And you don't have to replace your battery every 2 years. The CHR Hybrid is reliable, providing up to 1 million kilometers on the same battery and engine. Oh, and now you can save $2,000 off the Toyota CHR, starting at only $33,500.
That's way more than 3 reasons.
True, but the best one is that it's on sale now. Test drive the Toyota CHR today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road, while stocks last.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I taste the feel.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have 2 callers on hold and we're going to accommodate those callers before we go to our 8 o'clock news. But very quickly, one of our listeners responded to the call about the stipend and said that caller is extremely lucky to be getting a stipend. Person says that they opened an Airbnb having paid for the license and taxes to the Department of Tourism. Person says that they applied for a stipend extension on June the 23rd, 2021, and they got absolutely nothing. They say that they have been unemployed since March of 2020, having worked in tourism for 19 years and at the old fort building previously as well. So obviously there are mixed emotions, mixed reactions to the stipend issue. We hope and we trust, and we know that the government is working tirelessly on getting us back to a safe place, getting us back to the point where everyone who wants to be employed can be employed, in particular in the tourism industry. Meanwhile, there are those who fare much better than others. We certainly sympathize with you, but hopefully we'll be in a better place soon as well. Let's grab the 2 callers. We have 7 minutes less than 7 minutes, 6 minutes. So let's go 2 callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Elsie. Am I on?
Yes, you are, Billy. Good morning. How are you, my friend?
Good morning to you and Miss Susan and your whole team and the listening viewers, of course.
Thank you.
Elsie, I just want to update you on my case. This is the same one, me suing Justice Ian Kawali, the Attorney General and the Governor, regarding the right denial of the right to a fair trial. I touched on this a little bit when Mr. Riza was on, but I kind of glossed over it because it is kind of important. You see, what has happened is I have applied to the Court of Appeal to let them know that I think that they should all recuse themselves because the judge is involved. And I've even said that the president of the court should also not choose the panel.
Mm-hmm.
I have got a formal response from the president, which is in the form of a court order. And what he is saying is I can't recuse myself from even appointing the panel because I've got a constitutional duty to appoint the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I disagree with that because anytime when a judge recuses themselves, they actually have a constitutional duty to hear the case, but they still recuse themselves because of the interests of justice.
Mm-hmm.
But the interesting thing about that also is that the government was opposing the idea that the court should recuse itself.
Okay.
Which is very, very significant. And what I need to point out regarding this also is that I think in Cayman we need to follow precedent whenever we've done something. You remember the time when Justice Ingrid Mangata was being charged with drunk driving?
Yes.
Yes, the Chief Justice said, look, there are going to be problems of appearance of justice and other issues, and therefore he asked the then acting governor, who was Mr. Manderson, said, can you get somebody from outside the jurisdiction? And acting Governor Manderson asked the Judicial and Legal Services Commission to recommend somebody, and they recommended somebody from Bermuda. And basically, this is what I have been also trying to do, and basically they have refused in this case to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the second point, I'm aware of the time.
Very quick, because I want to grab the other caller. Yeah.
You have to the other call. You see, I'm also surprised that the government hasn't taken up the matter to be part of, to join the case, because their power has been taken away. But what I understand is that actually they have been assured that no other judge can ever hold that UK case law can override Cayman legislation, which is interesting because it means they've made a special rule for me and not for anybody else.
Mm.
And lastly, the costs. When I went to the Court of Appeal last time, the judge of the Court of Appeal refused to charge me costs, even if government wanted to charge me costs, because he felt that I had a case. And yet when I went to the Grand Court charged me costs.
Mm-hmm.
So it just tells you how our justice system is not even-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks very much, OC.
Thank you.
Give a chance to the
Take
other
care,
caller.
Billy. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, sir. I'm also calling concerning the prison. Where I don't know who the MP is for the prison. I think it's Barna Bush. I may be wrong. But when you go to the prison, if you don't have a car and you don't have an umbrella, you have to stand up out in the rain. You have to sit down on the sidewalk. What we need is a tent. They have the prison officers in there that can make nice benches, bolt them down, and whatever. And not only that, you got to wait till 10 o'clock in the morning. The prison should be able to be open earlier for people going to work. That can stop. People have to turn around and come back during their lunch hour and whatever. And I hope the MP, whether it's Barna Bush or whoever it is, will look into this because this is terrible. Years ago, we had the Queen sent a representative that went into the prison and said the prison needed a lot of renovation. Nothing was done. And not because they're prisoners. They're all human beings like everybody else. And today we're asking that something be done. The Queen said, I was there the morning that the man came from England, and that was on the Tara Rivers, and nothing was done. And when you go there, you got to stand up in the rain or sit on the sidewalk. It's ridiculous. And it should be open before 10 o'clock in the morning. People is going to work 7 o'clock. There's millions of them working in the prison that the prison cannot be open early, that people can drop off their things. They shouldn't have to come back and take lunch hours and whatever to come back to bring things for our prisoners. And people must feel that prison is for prison is for everybody, death is for everybody, and sickness is for everybody. There's nobody any better than the next one. And we need to get this sorted out because the 4 years soon be up and they're going to need our votes again. So I hope that whoever, whether it's Barna Bush or whether it's another MP that's in charge of it, I hope him or her will take charge of it and see that something is done.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller, for that. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Foster's is 7:59.
It's time to live well with Foster's and CG Brit K.
Live Well is your source for recipe ideas and lifestyle tips to help you achieve your healthy living goals.
Head to livewell.fosters.ky and discover healthy snacks for kids and tips for sticking to your healthy eating New Year's resolution.
Plus, you'll also find our latest Live Well recipe.
This week, we have grilled shrimp and apple skewers full of fresh, affordable ingredients.
Get started at livewell.fosters.ky.
Live Well with Foster's and CG Brit K.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Public Health has released COVID-19 figures for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of last week. They are 310, 254, and 105 respectively, for a total of 669 positive cases over the 3-day period. 2 of those were in the Sister Islands. It was a first in the history of the Cayman Islands. Sunday's special sitting in Parliament saw a parade contingent comprised of all female officers of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, led by female Commander Inspector Karen Watson. Normally, the commissioner walks with the governor, aide-de-camp, and the parade commander. This year, Inspector Wendy Parchment stepped into the role for the commissioner. Speaking to Radio Cayman News, Inspector Parchment says it was truly a momentous occasion.
We have broken all glass ceilings and opened doors for the ladies of our society and of our communities, simply because this has been predominantly a male organization.
In other news, for teen girls between the ages of 15 and 18 who aspire to be the next Miss Teen Cayman Islands, applications are now being accepted. More from CIGTV's Donna Bush.
The reigning Miss Teen, Isaiah Thomas, tells us about her journey, what aspiring entrants have to look forward to, and how appreciative she is to have won a government scholarship as her grand prize.
Since winning the title, I have been noticed more. I mean, I was noticed a lot for being 6'1". I'm really tall. But I still get congratulations on being Miss Teen. I'm so proud of you. Like, we knew you were going to win. I was like, thank you for all the support. It took a lot of support to actually win the pageant. I'm thankful for everyone who helped me. I would say go for it. Even if you have second thoughts, you never know. You could end up winning. I'm so thankful for the $54,000 the government has given me. I'm hoping to use it to attend school away in the States or in England. So you have a chance. It's like a meet and greet with me, so I can tell you everything you want to know about Miss Teen. If you're having any doubts, I can give you some tips. It's on February 26th and it's at the Lions Center.
Ms. Thomas has not been as active during her reign because of COVID protocols. Now, the 41st Miss Teen pageant organized by the Lions Club of Grand Cayman will take place on August 20th at the Lions Center. And of course, you can find applications on the Miss Teen Cayman Islands Facebook page and follow instructions on what the criteria is and how to submit your application.
Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. The French President Emmanuel Macron is travelling to Moscow for talks with President Putin to try to help prevent any new conflict in Ukraine. Mr. Macron has stated that it's legitimate for Moscow to raise its security concerns, but he said the sovereignty of Ukraine could not be compromised. The head of Tunisia's Supreme Judicial Council says police have stopped judges from entering their headquarters a day after President Kais Saied dissolved the country's main legal body. The judges say the dissolution of the council was illegal. Leading figures behind the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID vaccine have accused politicians of damaging its reputation and probably costing hundreds of thousands of lives. Among the first to be widely produced, the vaccine struggled to be accepted in the European Union. A team of professional firefighters has been deployed in Kenya to help battle a huge fire that's destroyed large areas of the Aberdare National Park. The forest is home to a large number of elephants and endangered black rhinos. A court in Sri Lanka has granted bail to a prominent civil rights lawyer who's been in detention for nearly 2 years under anti-terrorism charges. Hijaz Hizbullah denies charges of hate speech and causing communal disharmony. One of the greatest Spanish actors of the 20th century, Margarita Lozano, has died at the age of 91. She appeared in several major post-war films, including Luis Buñuel's classic 1961 work Viridiana and the spaghetti western Fistful of Dollars. At the Winter Olympics in Beijing, the men's downhill has been won by the Swiss skier Beat Feuz. It was a first Olympic gold for the 34-year-old, who was once told he may require a knee amputation. In speed skating, the Netherlands' Irene Wust has won the 6th Olympic title of her career and become the first person to win individual gold at 5 different Winter Games. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Radio Cayman News.
Government announced the passing of an 86-year-old COVID-19 patient.
Right now, due to the pandemic, we have no cruise industry, and that's a sad day for our country.
For Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's 70th anniversary on the throne is no easy feat.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating?
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory-breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 72 degrees. Relative humidity is 95%. The barometric pressure 30.04 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east-northeast at 7 knots. Overnight low temperature was 72 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate easterly winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a ridge of high-pressure system extends over the northwest Caribbean. Satellite images show patches of low-level clouds over the Cayman area moving towards the west. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures dipping to the mid-70s tonight. Winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Low tide will be this morning at 12 minutes after 9, high tide this afternoon at 2:19, and a low tide again tonight at 11 minutes past 9. The sun will set this evening at 6:20 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:58. And the outlook is calling for light winds and slight seas from early Tuesday morning as the high-pressure system weakens. An increase in cloudiness and a chance of showers are expected from Wednesday afternoon as a cold front moves over the extreme northwest Caribbean.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at what's happening on our roads. Roads are wet, so please drive with extra caution. If you're coming from the east, you're going to have a lot of delays this morning as traffic is heavy on Shamrock Road, also on the Linford Pearson Highway. Lots of patience needed this morning as you head on down to Georgetown. Traffic also busy coming off the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way. Busy traffic as well from Crew Road heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Crew Road is moving along moderately. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is steady but flowing, especially in front of the Ritz. Into Georgetown on Shedden Road, not looking too bad as traffic flowing moderately. Steady but flowing traffic on Huldah Avenue. Northtown Road, some sections steady, other sections moderate. As we look to Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is flowing moderately. Remember to drive with extra caution. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Click it or ticket.
You see how hard it's raining?
Yeah, and I don't have time to fight traffic and get my lunch from Subway. I have so much work to do.
Why don't you order Subway by using the Let's Eat or Bento app? Save time, stay dry, and get your sandwich fast.
I never thought of that. Great idea. I'm going to order now.
Order me a veggie pizza while you're at it.
And a cookie platter for the office.
Too busy at work or home? Is the rainy weather stopping you from dining out? Order your favorite Subway sandwich, wrap, or pizza through the Let's Eat or Bento app with fast and reliable delivery. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
It's time to update your information. If you've recently changed your mailing address, phone number, or email address, please let your Water Authority customer service team know. Visit our website www.waterauthority.ky to download and fill out our customer information update form, or contact our customer service team at info@waterauthority.ky or call 949-2837.
Let me tell you something. I've been fishing our island since I was a boy, and it's getting harder and harder to get a good catch. Maybe it's because there are so many more people in Cayman than ever before. Maybe it's because of how the climate is changing. I don't know about that, but I do know that I want to be able to keep fishing and teach my children to fish one day as well. So it makes sense to me that we have certain areas and certain times of the year to fish for certain things. This year, a new rule was placed on fishing for grouper that says no one can fish for Nassau or grouper anywhere in Cayman from December 1st to April 30th while they're spawning. There is also no fishing allowed at all for any kinds of fish in the spawning zones, and no scuba diving there either. It feels unfair not to be allowed to fish where my dad had taught me to fish, but I know that being patient now means we can keep fishing for many more generations. We're all in this together, right?
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit doe.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so the phone lines are open. I want to again remind our listeners, those of you who are on the roads, in some areas, the rain is coming down fairly heavy. So again, we urge you to exercise caution. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road to keep yourself and others safe as well. I'm going to try to share as many public notifications as possible with you this morning as well. And I want to start off by sharing with you the schedule for February, today's schedule as far as the COVID-19 vaccine is concerned. So the COVID-19 vaccine, dose 1 and 2, they're available to all persons 12 years and over. Boosters, which is the third dose, at 131 Center are available to 18 plus years and older and clinically vulnerable, 12 plus as well. So today, February the 7th, the 131 clinic, that's on 131 McClendon Drive next to DHL behind Foster's Airport, Foster Supermarket. At the airport, vaccinations will take place from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. today. the 7th of February 2022. Tomorrow, again, it will be at the 131 Center, McClendon Drive, from 12:30 p.m. and until 4 p.m. and from 5:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. as well. And remember, the COVID-19 vaccine dose 1 and 2 available to all persons 12 years and over, and the boosters, the third dose is also available to you. So sharing that information with you. Also, we know that lots of people are doing backyard farming these days, and went over to the agriculture department on Friday, and pretty busy there. Seems as if they can't keep the seedlings, the young plants off the shelf. Over at the agriculture department, there's so much demand for tomatoes because, of course, this time of the year, it's a good time for planting tomatoes, even though new varieties have been developed that can thrive in warm temperatures as well. The peppers, there's a huge demand for those as well. So many persons doing backyard farming, but then we also have persons who are involved in full-scale farming for commercial purposes. And based on what I'm hearing also, there may be a glut on the market for peppers, whether seasoning or hot peppers, because so many persons are producing. But some people are also complaining that as far as the tomatoes are concerned, and maybe even the peppers, that they're still having to compete with the overseas products as well, those that are being imported into the Cayman Islands. And of course, we know because of the slowdown in our tourism industry, there's not as much demand for local products at the hotels. So of course, you know, some farmers had to go through a huge battle just to get some of our hotels here to accept and to purchase locally produced goods, which are in many instances much more superior than what is being imported as well. So I say all of that to say that the Department of Environmental Health has advised that post-Christmas mulch is available. And of course, you know, by using mulch, it helps to keep the ground cool as well. So that helps in many instances when you're planting. So the Department of Environmental Health, they're notifying interested members of the public to collect free mulch at the Georgetown Cricket Field. Says that this year approximately 5,000 natural Christmas trees were dropped off. 500 natural Christmas trees were dropped off and shredded into 25 yards of mulch, which is now available to the public as part of the DEH's annual Natural Christmas Tree Recycling Program. Residents are reminded to bring their shovels and their bags for the removal of the mulch, which is provided on a first-come, first-served basis. If you want more information, or if you're interested, those persons who are interested, if you want more information, you can contact the Department of Environmental Health at telephone number 949-6696, or also by email And their email is dehcustomerservice@gov.ky. And or you can also visit the DEH, DEH's website at www.deh.gov.ky, or you can also message them on their Facebook page. So if you want mulch, you take your bags, take your shovel, you go over to the cricket ground, and you can get mulch. They have about what they said, 25 yards of it available after shredding some 500 Christmas trees and getting 25 yards of mulch. So if you're interested, go ahead and get your mulch. A lot of backyard farmers, a lot of commercial farmers as well. I'm told that we have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and happy week.
Good morning. Good morning. Same to you. Thank you.
Talking about the farming.
Yes.
I can be a little bit, we call it on that, not to make people know where I'm going to get my good stuff, which is Foster's Savannah. Yeah, Foster's Savannah has some excellent local products. And trust me, they don't last long.
Mm-hmm.
But as I go in the door and I see them, I have to grab mine.
Okay. Are they labeled as locally produced so that people know the difference?
Yes, they are.
Oh, great.
Yes, they are.
I ask that because I don't go into supermarkets too often.
As you go into Foster's Savannah, they're right in front of you.
Okay.
Like where the pineapples and stuff, right across there, from the pineapples and potatoes and stuff, right across there. Facing, you will see the cashiers.
Okay.
And trust me when I tell you, they're awesome products. The cucumbers, oh my goodness. There's night and day between those and what coming from overseas. And the tomatoes, same way. So anytime I go and I see them, I have to grab my share, trust me. And scallion, they have everything. Pop chow, you name it.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And they're the ones that I find with the most variety of local products.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because the eastern side is we grow them and they stop there first. But they're the ones that have most of the local stuff.
And you say there's a particular day, the best day to go there if you want the fresh produce?
Every day of the week they have them.
Okay.
Every day of the week, but some days I don't know exactly which days because they vary. That the farmers bring in their produce, the abundance of them, and then they have the even the eggplant and you name it.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
excellent. That's good.
Peppers, everything.
Good to know.
I got some bell peppers the other day. They were awesome.
Yeah, I was trying to get some bell peppers, and I finally got some on Friday. I think I got 9 seedlings. Wanted more than that, but like I said, the demand at the agriculture department is huge demand there, which is good. And the mere fact that the agriculture show will not take place this year, it is still good to see that there's such a strong interest in patronizing the agriculture department, and supporting them.
Yeah, they actually busy. You would say 24/7. That's how busy they are. They close on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is.
Yeah.
But every other, I mean, there people there all the time. You see people turning in. I mean, you wouldn't believe the amount. Well, COVID has done good for us. Let me put it that way, because it made us all realize, hey, look, we need to depend more on what we grow, than because there will come a time when we won't get it.
So true.
So if we don't grow it, we won't have it. Yeah, so that's my little secret there. Savannah has the best local products.
Thank you. Thank you very much
You're welcome.
for that. Have a great day and stay safe.
A lot of vendors up there as well on the road. Yeah, so.
Now, what do you think about vending, roadside vending? There's some persons who are opposed to it. There are some vendors who have been in those positions for quite a long time, and they have their regular customers and everything. And to me, as long as it is safe, drivers are able to pull off to the side of the road and keep everyone safe, I see absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Oh, see, I enjoy seeing it, and I stop there myself. Sometimes when Foster's don't have I like to buy like the whole pumpkins, and you can't get the whole pumpkin at Foster's. They always have it you would say diced up. So you get what you want when you go to the little vendors. It's a nice atmosphere. I can be honest.
Good to know. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Stay safe. Have a great day. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Good morning. I don't know if you're going to guess there.
No guests yet. I think we're going to have someone from the National Gallery later on.
Well, a good topic. You're talking about local produce. And I agree with the caller. The vendors are not bad, but what they need to do, they need to keep their surroundings like neat and tidy, because some of them are just packing up all kinds of stuff, and we don't need that kind of luck to come on, because we come in like third world country if they can do like that. They need to be nice, neat tents and everything that people can drive by and say, yes, at least they don't look like, like third world countries. And we also need to congratulate the prison, because I went to Kirk's on Friday to drop off some passion for my aunt, and they were actually dropping off tomatoes. They had the prettiest tomatoes, and the prison officer told me that the prisoners they used it for their rehabilitation, to teach them to do something, and they are turning out a lot of stuff. They got a bit of everything up there.
Yeah. And during the agriculture show, they have some in the past, and I'm sure that they still do it. Excellent displays of craft work, building swings and various other things as well. Plus their produce that they have there also. Excellent program.
So we need to have support them also, because that's our people that we got up there, especially the young ones. Cause, the prison now is filled with so many young ones. It's sad to know it, but it's the reality of it. And we need to have support them, to at least encourage them to know that there's another side to life besides living in fear. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, and please stay safe as well. Any other calls on hold, Ms. Susan? Okay, we have a call coming in, because I have something that I want to share with our audience, but it's going to take some time, and so it's a release. An open letter, Amplify Cayman, expressing their grave concern about the salami slicing, quote-unquote salami slicing decision for the Little Cayman Boutique Resort. And I want to share that with our public as well. So let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm going to my farm. I'm going up now, pick some tomatoes. I got some lovely tomatoes thing coming out too, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you send any of your produce down to Grand Cayman, or you sell all of yours in the BRAC?
No. Right in the BRAC. I can't go enough, OC. I can't go enough banana. Anything. I just take it from my store, and like that, it's just gone.
Wow, that's good.
Man.
That's good.
Okay, now, we talk about tomato now, but we won't get back to the ganja. And I would like to personally thank Dr. Lockhart for coming on and supporting it, because the man, you see, with this whole stigma that ganja saying you're crazy, that's a lie. There's no proven scientific fact. And I'm glad that somebody like him come on and join with Mr. Orrin, Marin, and It is time now for Juliana O'Connor. She was one that got up on the stand and said that she can deal with the ganja. The premier said he would support it. It is time to get a move because, see, you know this as well as I know. Any one of them that do not support that motion when it come before the house, they're not getting back their seat. Huh?
No weed, no vote.
No weed, no vote. You can tell for that they're not getting back their seat. And it is time now for the discrimination to stop. You know, I read up something about, what we going to go there because everybody can grow 5 plants. It's a suggestion, right? Because I don't want 5 plants. I won't get in the commercial system of it. And they say, the island will be destroyed because everybody will be growing 5 plants. Listen, see, is everybody going, oh God. Is everybody growing peppers? Everybody not growing peppers, right?
Yep.
Everybody not growing tomato. You can put a tomato in a 5-gallon bucket by your front door, you know. Not everybody doing it. Not everybody growing cassava. But let me tell you something. Farming, I love farming, but farming is one of the hardest works in the world. It's a non-stop job. And when you think your crop coming for there, what happens? A hurricane come mash it up. You understand me?
Got you.
Hello.
Yes. I'm listening. Got you.
Yeah. So it is time now. It is time now for the discrimination against the farmers in the Cayman Islands to stop. It's high time. Boy, you know, see, it's one thing I wish, but it's too late now. I should have studied law. Boy, would have some lawsuits rolling in this island, you see. I mean, I would have the lawsuits. They would be back to back, neck to neck. And I will see that's my little rant and rave for the morning. Have a nice day, sir.
All right, you two, take care and continue to provide the BRAC with all of those, the produce. And, of course, if and when the weed is legalized, then, you can move on to that as well. Time for us to take a commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Government's new recruitment portal offers job seekers a paperless online process that makes it easy to apply for more than one job anywhere, anytime. With this step forward in our online recruitment presence, you can keep track of outstanding applications and appointments and receive notifications about your applications. Visit the careers.gov.ky portal and use the new one-stop shop for civil service recruitment to further your career.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We do have a caller, so let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. How art thou?
Very well.
Okay.
I think happy belated in order, but anyhow.
Thanks.
And again, God can put you here. He put you here for a long time. Don't worry about that. I'm not got nothing much to say but to my friend from the Brack, my little golden boy out there on Mavis Street. Oh, Lord. Baby, you could get anything you want. And I can see already where you're going. But anyhow, God bless you with so many brain cells that you could destroy one or two and still have enough left, but not all of us like that. So when you're adding up and you're summing up, remember not every one of us born with your power. So advocate for the least of us and not always for the best of us, which that's the side that you're on the best side. Because all of that brain that you got, if you would only just be that lawyer, you would be the first Supreme Court justice that wasn't an American born. But anyhow, I can leave him with that for the morning and not troubling him. And you have a good day, sir.
Okay,
and many more.
Yep, I'm not sure whether or not you keep a voicemail because I tried calling you on Friday because I was a little bit concerned because I hadn't heard from you in quite a while, and I said, let me call.
You have to embarrass me now.
No, I mean I don't have voicemail on my phone, so you can easily say whether or not you have voicemail because I left a message, but I'm not sure whether or not you had it. But I just the point was that I hadn't heard from you in a while, and I was a little bit concerned. I said this is unusual, to go this long and not hear from you.
You see, if my people were treating me right, you would know.
We're gonna have to talk to them about that. Too. Yeah, we're gonna have to get on their case.
Thank you very much. I'm going. Bye.
All right, take care. You have a safe and wonderful day as well. So, folks, I'm going to share this with you, and I hope and trust that this in some way connects with one of our previous callers this morning. This was a press release that was issued on February the 4th, which would have been on Friday. And it is headlined, Ministry of Border Control and Labor Bulletin Board, Displaced Tourism Employee Stipend Program recipients asked to reconfirm information. And it reads, recipients of the Tourism Displaced Employee Stipend Program are reminded to complete the online reconfirmation survey, which asks for current contact information along with other pertinent details. The survey is to be completed by no later than Tuesday, the 8th of February 2022, that is tomorrow. So the survey is to be completed by no later than Tuesday, the 8th of February 2022 to avoid delay in payment this month. Also says that as a reminder, new applications for this program are not being accepted at this time. And I would imagine, and I hope and I trust, that this new reconfirmation survey that is taking place, that will help to weed out some of the scammers that we understand that are taking advantage of the tourism stipend program and maybe at the same time earning a salary while collecting that stipend. Now, there may be the case where they may be earning a salary, but it may not be commensurate with what they were earning before or what is necessary to sort of keep them afloat. We don't know the circumstances, but the word on the street is that there are persons out there who are gaming the system, and if there are, then those persons need to be weeded out as well. So, and like they pointed out that no new applications are being accepted for this program. You can call 649-6932 with any questions, or to access the survey, you can visit www.gov.ky/labor/stipend. You can also email them at stipend@gov.ky as well. So I just wanted to share that with you. Like I said, I am not sure how much that connects with one of the previous callers that we had, but I wanted to share that information, with you as well. This is a long statement that, quite a lengthy statement that was issued by Amplify Cayman on February the 4th, on Friday as well. And they expressed their grave concerns about the Salamis license decision for the Little Cayman Boutique Resort. And I'm going to share as much of this as I possibly can. And it goes on to say, starts off by saying, in light of the recent DCB, that would be the Sister Islands Development Board, to approve terrestrial development of this project, Amplify Cayman would like to briefly readdress why we feel this flies in the face of environmental, social, and economic responsibility and directly conflicts with sustainable development. With the economic viability of the project relying on overwater bungalows that are to be constructed in a marine preservation zone, we have great difficulty understanding why this segment of the application would even be heard. As a key first step in climate action, there is a significant international and regional focus to preserve nature and to strengthen protections around current conservation efforts. Considering such a project in 2022 in such a zone seems completely out of touch with the reality of climate change, when, according to conservation.org, reversing nature loss could account for roughly 30% of global action needed to stabilize our climate. And I'm going to share one more paragraph with you on that. He says, we should be replenishing, expanding, and safeguarding protected natural areas for future generations. We should be creating blue-green livelihoods based on stewarding, studying, and sustainably managing our natural resource usage as proposed by the Department of Environment and the National Conservation Council. In seizing the moment to transition to a greener economy. Instead, it seems we are skirting policy and breaking the spirit of the 2001 United Kingdom Overseas Territory Environmental Charter and our very own constitution to build yet another out of scale, out of character, profit-driven project. Instead of benefiting future generations, we aim to benefit a few investors. And I'll stop there, and hopefully I'll get an opportunity to comment on that part about benefiting a few investors, and also to talk about the fact that when we look at what has happened on 7 Mile Beach, we have people who either come here and earn money or come here with money. Some of them have never lived on a coastline before, much less, I believe, probably have never seen a coastline before until they either flew out of their country of origin or flew over the Cayman Islands and saw a coastline, but then have made decisions, have been able to inveigle and to convince our regulatory authorities here in the Cayman Islands to decrease setbacks, to be allowed to construct seawalls that have done irreparable damage to our coastline, to our environment as well. How we continue to rely on these sometimes nobodies, know-nothing people to damage our environment. And why is that? Because everyone who jumps off of a plane or jumped off of a plane with a briefcase in their hand, we took their word as gospel. We acquiesced to them. That, folks, is why we find ourselves in many of the adverse situations that we are in today. We have a caller. We're going to take a commercial break first. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Thinking of getting a hybrid but don't know much about them? Vamp Motors has 3 great reasons why you should own the Toyota CHR. Hybrids save fuel, run cleaner, reduce CO2 emissions, and even recharge their batteries while being driven. So there's no need to plug in a hybrid, making it both economical and fun to drive. And you don't have to replace your battery every 2 years. The CHR Hybrid is reliable, providing up to 1 million kilometers on the same battery and engine. Oh, and now you can save $2,000 off the Toyota CHR, starting at only $33,500.
That's way more than 3 reasons.
True, but the best one is that it's on sale now. Test drive the Toyota CHR today at Vamp Motors, Walkers Road, while stocks last.
Your Radio Cayman 6 p.m. news, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Logic. Your life connected.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As promised, we're going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and good morning, For the Record.
Good morning. Good morning.
I just catch a little bit of your program, and I know you're talking about the environment and the coastline, and I totally agree with you. Where I come from, my little island, we don't allow no one to come and buy the front coastline.
Kudos to you. Kudos.
You can't build on the seaside of the road. The roads go around the island, but nobody allowed to build on the seaside. So that is a good that the government is implement that in Kern Island. And here, you see, we have a beautiful beach, but it's gone.
Yes.
You know, every time it's gone, people still talking about the beautiful 7 Mile Beach. Remember, people don't want to come from Miami and come and see a little Miami here. They're looking something different, right?
That's
but
true.
I guess other people don't want to sell in other small country. You know, I was just hearing a situation with someone that sell a piece of land home for so much money. But I'm not going to go into too much of that because I don't want to take up so much of your time. My thing calling in this morning, I want to see when after the next election coming up, 2024 it is?
Yes.
In 20,
4 years.
What government will put the blame on now for not giving my husband a job, Dr. Frank Maxfield? Because the government that is in, when the PPM government was in, or the past 2 government was in, every one of those MP that is sitting there in that legislative assembly was coming to him. I can't believe Alden is not giving you a job. They're making your knowledge waste. They should find a job for you. I cannot believe that them is in almost a year now, and they haven't used the man in no area. The a poet right from Nicaragua, he said the gold shine if it's even in the mud. And my husband is, yes, he said, el oro brilla aún en el lodo. That was Ruben Dario. He was a poetry from Nicaragua, right that. And Frank is there with his knowledge, and he is shining. He had teach me so much, and I understand what he is about. So people out there that said that they don't understand Dr. Frank and they know this and they know that and they know that is lie. Frank have so much knowledge also. He can help the country in so much ways. And we as black people just keep down one another. When I say, and I feel it to the bone, I say I water circling Dr. Frank's eyes many times when he talk about the treatment that he get here. Not that people don't understand him. When our mother tell we the truth, we cry. When he tell people the truth, people get against him. The truth is just the truth. He had told them for many years where this country was going. He is there sitting, writing, praying for somebody come and said, I'm going to use you in this area where you can.
So no offer has been made in any way, to him?
You know, see, it hurt me to my heart because I work at Kirkholm St. His wife. I love him to death because nobody having offered to Dr. Frank. When he was campaigning, the other MP them was saying, Dr. Frank, you don't worry. Them even didn't want him to run. They tell him never to run in this election that passed because if they get in, they would have did help him. And I'm not going to call on him because they know who them is. About 3 or 4 of them come to him and say, that you don't run. As we get in, you're going to get something for do. You're going to get a work. We're going to place you in something in your field. And all this time, we is in February, 7th of February, almost soon a year. And nobody, nothing. I feel so bad for him, OC. I feel it to my heart because I say I water circling my husband when he talk about the way people treat him here in this country.
And he wants to contribute. He wants to contribute, and he, like you said, he has a lot to contribute as well.
Last night, I sit and read his book that he's writing over 3,000 pages. And when I read like 4 pages of it, and I said to myself, oh my God, Frank, what you doing here? You know, if Frank Maxfield was in the States or in other place, other country, people would have valued that man so much. That's why I said the gold shine if it's even in the mud. That's what the poetry say. But even here, that they cannot say this man can help this country with the young people and the social breakdown of this country and the political breakdown. They wouldn't reach out to him. None of them, and a lot of them there, he helped when was his time. But you remember, them one that is there that is young now in his party. When Frank was in the government, Frank was up in his party, 46, 47, something around there. And the same age that them is. And Frank is 70. What go up will have to come back down. You remember, them going to reach Frank, and this country can treat them the same way that them how them treating Frank.
Yep. Yes. Caller, I want to thank you very much. I hope, and I know that people are listening, and I hope that they will reach out to Dr. Frank. Like I said, Dr. Frank has a lot to offer to the Cayman Islands in either one area or the other, and want to thank you very much for your contribution. I want you to continue to inspire him, to continue to encourage him as well. Never give up, not to give up at all. We're going to try to grab one more caller before we go to our headline news at 9 o'clock, and I believe we should have guests in for 9 o'clock as well. If not, then we'll keep the phone lines open. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Yes, Mr. OC, good morning. It's the first time on your show.
Oh, thank you. Welcome.
Okay, all right. How must I start? Okay, I my family, I have it's three of us, me, my wife, and my little boy, right? We got a trade-in business license from the government to import motor vehicles.
Okay.
And we have been having a serious problem with customs. We brought a couple of vehicles in back in June, and for some reason they decided that they're going to hold on to them because of issues they claim with, invoice and stuff like that. Anyway, I had to get a lawyer to get those vehicles out. Well, that has been passed. Before Christmas, we got two more vehicles in. They're a Toyota Tacoma and a RAV4. I paid my broker to do all my paperwork, and when they paid customs, etc., my broker called me, gave me the paperwork. Anyway, I went to customs on Saturday to pick them up. I step up at the guard gate and tell them good morning. There was three gentlemen in the booth there, along with a custom officer. You can see that.
Caller, we're going to run out of time before 9 o'clock, so I'm going to ask you to, if you can get to your point.
I may have to call back, but I says good morning, gentlemen, and the officer says, boss man, you have titles for them vehicles? I said, sir, what you should have done, you should have asked, may I see the titles for them vehicles? He bust out the door open and all up in my face, telling me that he can hold on to my vehicles, so I have to come back because I was feisty. I said, sir, I am not feisty, I'm a customer. What you should have done is say, may I see the titles for these vehicles? Not, boss man, you have titles for them vehicles. And
it's not what you say, but how you say it.
Vehicles. And they're still in customs. They hold on to them until now. We are so stressed out. And the previous vehicles that they held, they have no reason to hold on to them. I have to get a lawyer. If we were doing something wrong, send us to court.
Does it have anything to do with your declared value as opposed to the book value, or what?
They didn't say. But if I did something wrong.
They should tell you if there's a problem. They should tell you what the problem is. How do you address it? How do you fix the problem if they don't tell you?
These vehicles now, they held them and they already got payment for them. They got their money. They got almost $12,000 for them, and they give us the release document. And the guy threatened to hold on to them, and they held them until now.
Have you spoken? Have you?
So stressed out.
Have you spoken to anyone in management? Have you gone beyond that person that you were dealing with?
Management, all those guys up in there, they know about it. and they send us to this up department, to that department, to that department, and all over the place. My sisters who contributed tremendously in education here, they just retired. They say, listen, come home.
But unfortunately, you're telling me part of it, but you're not really going into detail for me to understand exactly what the problem is, because you're and I understand that there is limitation on time, but you're not really giving me specifics. You're giving me generalizations.
To call you back so that I can give you all the details, because I have everything. I have to call you back because this is just it's a whole lot more than that needs to be said.
Okay, caller, thank you very much for that, folks. Top of the hour headline news. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back, and if we have guests in the studio, we will be talking about the National Gallery. If no guests, then the phone lines will continue to be open. Please stay tuned for the record. Yes, I'm made to understand our guests are here. So for the record, we'll be back shortly. We'll be talking about the National Gallery.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
Your voice, your choice. Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Government reported 669 new cases of COVID-19 registered with public health last week. The breakdown was 310 on Tuesday, 254 on Wednesday, and 105 on Thursday. 2 of those new cases were in the Sister Islands. The mayor of Canada's capital, Ottawa, has declared a state of emergency in response to more than a week of truckers' protests against COVID restrictions. Jim Watson said the city was, quote, completely out of control with demonstrators outnumbering police. He said the protest posed a threat to resident safety. There has also been reports of racial attacks. Ottawa's centre has been paralyzed with vehicles and tents blocking roads. And French President Emmanuel Macron has said he thinks a deal to avoid full-scale war in Ukraine is possible and that it is legitimate for Russia to raise its own security concerns. Before talks in Moscow with Russia's President Vladimir Putin today, he called for a, quote, new balance to protect European states and appease Russia. He reinstated that the sovereignty of Ukraine was not up for discussion. Russia has massed troops on Ukraine's border but denies planning to invade. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me Mr. William Helfrich from the National Gallery. We're going to be talking about a new exhibition at the National Gallery called the People's Collection, 25 Years of Cultural Legacy. And that exhibition began on the 28th of January, and it runs until the 26th of May. And I'm just giving you the little tidbits about it because Mr. Helfrich is right here in the studio with me, and I'm going to say good morning, welcome to him, Happy New Year to him, and get him to talk more about the exhibition. Good morning, sir. Welcome back to For the Record.
And good morning to our audience. It's a pleasure to be here. We're very excited to share a new exhibition that has been in the works for some time, and we took the opportunity. We're doing exhibitions all the time at the National Gallery, and an exhibition is something that we work on, and we have in the works. And then when we launch this new exhibition, the first thing people want to know is, what's this one about? What's the sort of genesis of this project? Mm-hmm. And for us, we really wanted to focus on our collection, the national collection, and to make people aware of a cultural resource we have here in Cayman that not everyone may be aware of. And that is this incredible collection of artworks. The National Museum, the National Gallery, and the Cayman National Cultural Foundation. All three of our organizations actually hold components of this collection, this public collection. So we've titled this exhibition The People's Collection, a 25-year cultural legacy. And what we mean by that is making sure that people are aware that this is something that they can access, something that they can come and see, something that they can enjoy. And over the 25-year history of the National Gallery, because we're celebrating, we've got the Diamond Jubilee this year was just marked on Sunday. And for us as well, we've got our 25-year anniversary as an organization. We were founded in 1997, and we're also celebrating the 10th anniversary of our new building. So it was really a moment to reflect on what we've done in the past and also to look forward to the future. And we have Maya Mutu here with us as well, and she's going to be talking about some of the digital programs that we've done, which we've come on your show, last year and talked about some of the initiatives that with the lockdowns and with, I guess, the changes in the way people have had to adapt to change to these new circumstances, but some of the work that we've done in terms of digital access.
Okay. Ms. Maya, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning.
You can take off the mask.
Headphones, actually, because I feel quite wrapped tightly with the headphones and the mask on.
But you can take the mask off if you want.
Thank you. Like Will said, with the digital programming and the way that we've had to shift and adapt, when we went into lockdown, we all banded together very quickly to think about the ways in which we could adapt all of our programs, which were very much based in person, to this online platform that is so incredibly important now and even more now that, 2020 and onwards have happened. So we've managed to do a really amazing job as a team to create these incredible resources online. I don't know if Will already mentioned that our online collection is actually the largest collection of Caymanian art that can be found anywhere in terms of that virtual resource.
Oh, well, he's bragged about that on many occasions. He's been on the show.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he should brag about it. The exhibitions team did an incredible job. With that resource. And then we also have an incredible amount of educational resources online now too. So we've got many worksheets if people want to print out and have those physical worksheets. But if you're not necessarily a reading type of learner, there are lots of video resources as well. So people can go on our blog. There's so many artist interviews. We did a whole series of artist talks during lockdown where artists actually they filmed themselves in their studios or in their working spaces and talked about their process, the materials that they use. So those are really great resources in terms of getting to know local artists. For this show in particular, we've done something new, which is to include these QR codes. So when you come in, you can scan the QR codes on all of the exhibition sectionals and labels, and you can actually have an audio guide tell you about that artwork in both Spanish and English. Wow. So it's been an amazing opportunity for us to kind of expand a little bit to include different languages, different types of learners. Some people don't want to come into a gallery and read lots of text. Some people love that. I love that. But some people prefer to kind of hear it and be able to walk around and move around while they're listening.
Okay. Back over to you, Mr. Helfrich.
Yeah. Well, I'll say a bit more about, I guess, what makes this exhibition somewhat different from projects we've done in the past. And that is, taking this moment of reflection, this anniversary occasion, we wanted to show and to share with people just how much the collection has actually physically grown. And of course, having that new building has been instrumental to that because this exhibition is really also a way of leading people through the collection and telling them about the history of our organization. And that new building was a real watershed moment because it allows us to now house this collection, because if you haven't got the space to hang it, it's very hard. These having artworks and caring for them, which is part of our job, on a day-to-day basis, is looking after these objects. Some of them are, we've had a very vibrant art scene here for well over 50 years. So some of these works are getting a little bit older, and so we have to be very meticulous with how we care for them. But having this space, having these beautiful air-conditioned galleries where we can have works on display means people can actually come and see them. So with this project, for example, the collection has actually grown by about 240% over the last decade. So we've really grown this collection, and we've grown it in a way that really reflects the diversity of the arts in Cayman. So you're not just going to see painting and sculpture. You're going to see some wonderful examples of traditional Caymanian craft, thatch baskets by some of, our really, really talented, I call them sort of the master craftspeople, but people like Miss Marlena Anglin and Miss Lizzie Powell. Mm-hmm. And so for this exhibition, we've arranged the works chronologically. So normally, when you go into a museum, you'll see painting over here, perhaps, and your older works, perhaps in the first corridor, and more contemporary work later on in an exhibition. And what we've done is we've arranged this exhibition in the order that the works were acquired. So you'll see right from the outset the kind of diversity of work that the gallery was able to collect. So you start with some of our early pioneers like Miss Lassie, mm-hmm. But alongside that, from the get-go, the gallery was very conscious about ensuring that we had representation of, they were then quite young artists, the native sons, so people like Miguel Powery and Ray Banker and Al Ebanks. We collected modern and slightly more abstract work, but also very traditional seascapes, watercolors. And so as you walk through this space, you're going to see these amazing juxtapositions, these contrasts of the old and the new, but weaved together in this incredible story of Caymanian culture. And also, because we've also got this collection gallery upstairs, we now have on display about 40% of the collection. Uh-huh. So if you go into a typical museum around the world, you might see 5%, maybe 10% of what the museum actually holds in its collection. And right now, between the two galleries, we've got about 40%. So it's a real opportunity to take things out from storage, to share some of these works that either haven't been on display for many, many years, or in the case of these new acquisitions that we've been able to acquire through the support of various people and the Cayman Islands government, we have now this opportunity, this platform for people to come in. It's a real moment, a real opportunity to see these works. And the new acquisitions, several of these have never been seen before. So it's really, I think, an occasion for people to come in and see what we have, what they have.
So this just 40%, and you have from January until May. Is there any intention of maybe rotating some of it so that more will be exposed, or just what you have out there will be for the duration of time from January to May?
So what's on display now, that's what we're going to keep. We generally don't chop and change in the middle of an exhibition, although that would be a fun experiment.
You can tell I'm an amateur at this, right?
No, but for example, I've really stopped referring to the collection as, the permanent collection, yes, because we see it as a more dynamic body of work, So upstairs in our the upper gallery at the National Gallery, for those who don't know, that is dedicated to a collection display year-round. It's always going to be there. And downstairs in the lower exhibition hall, that's where we do these rotating temporary exhibitions. But this was almost an opportunity for a sort of double fare. You get the collection upstairs and downstairs. And upstairs, we've got this exhibition called Salt Water in Their Veins, and it's an exhibition that explores Cayman's artists' connections to maritime culture. And that exhibition was installed. One of the plus points, I suppose, of lockdown, we were actually closed for 4 months from March until July. So we actually took that time to rehang upstairs and paint our walls, get a nice fresh coat of paint on there, which we often don't have an opportunity to do, and to rehang the collection. So it was fairly newly installed in 2020, and since then we've kept the same theme of that exhibition, but we have been rotating new work. So even folks who've been upstairs and seen the collection, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, I've seen that, come back and have a look, because you'll see some really interesting new pieces. We've got some incredible works by Charles Long that we actually were able to acquire last year. These are paintings that feature traditional catboat shelters with the thatch roofs and the catboats pulled up on the shore. beautiful works and several other pieces. We had a display of Miss Lassie works that we actually borrowed from our neighbors at CNCF who look after Miss Lassie's collection, and they were on display for a long time. And then, of course, CNCF did a wonderful tribute to Miss Lassie, the big exhibition project, and we had to give those back. So, but we saw it again. I was sad to see those go, but we were able to put some other new works on display. So do have a look upstairs, and you'll see some of that work that's been going on.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break, folks. I want to remind you that we're talking about a 25-year cultural legacy, the People's Collection at the National Gallery. That conversation has taken place with Miss Maya Mutu and Mr. William Helfrich. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Join the Alex Panton Foundation for our 5th annual Youth Mental Health Symposium, taking place on Saturday, 19th of February from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., featuring an impressive lineup of speakers and panels discussing our theme, Thriving in Uncertain Times. This year's event will be streamed via the Alex Panton Foundation Facebook page. Visit alexpantonfoundation.ky to learn more. Sponsored in part by DART, 3T, Burger King, Popeyes, Tower, and Compass Media.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
How can you take your business from good to great and thrive in the new normal? By finding the smartest, most powerful IT solutions to optimize your business operations. And now, Digicel Business Hub is making it simple for you. High-speed Wi-Fi, mobile and office phones, IT security, Microsoft Office with Teams, and much more. Everything your business needs to level up in the new normal. Get world-class IT for your business with Digicel Business Hub. Sign up today. Call us on 623-2499 or visit our website www.digicelbusiness.com for more information.
Are you a recipient of the Tourism Stipend Program? The Ministry of Border Control and Labor requires all recipients to complete a survey to reconfirm their contact information. The survey can be found on gov.ky/labor/stipend. The survey must be completed no later than Tuesday, February 8th. Contact 649-6932 or email stipend@gov.ky with any questions.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're pleased to have in the studio with us this morning Ms. Maya Mutu, as well as Mr. William Helfrich from the National Gallery. We're talking about the People's Collection that is on exhibit. 25-year cultural legacy began on the 28th of January, runs until the 26th day of May. I want to remind our listeners, if you have any questions or comments about the topic that we're discussing, it is restricted to this topic, talking about the National Gallery. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to call us. Our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990, or email us at For the Record, one word, For the Record, at CANDW.KY, or you can WhatsApp us, 925-3261. Over to you now, Ms. Maya.
Yes. So you mentioned obviously that the run dates of the show, and I just want to remind everyone who's listening that the National Gallery is a free space, so we don't have an admission charge to come in. So it's a great thing to do, even if you just have some time off on a weekday or on the weekend to bring the kids. We also have a lot of educational materials on the reception desk. So if you come in with your kids, you can grab one of the worksheets and have a more engaging walk around the space where they can actually use question prompts and play interesting, fun games that will get their brains going and learning about the artworks on display, but also about culture in general. And the worksheets for this particular show really look at what a museum is, what a curator is, how we select artworks for shows. And I really like them because they have this kind of cross-curricular approach where we're thinking about all of the things that children and students and even adults can learn through collecting. So one of those is numeracy, right? Thinking about the number of things that you choose for a collection, how you select pieces for a collection, asking key questions about different artworks. So I think there's lots of takeaways educationally from a show like this and from museum spaces in general. One of the other educational things that we did for this show was create a room, a separate room in the show with digital material. So there's actually iPads in there, there's computers, and you can go in and actually explore the online collection and the virtual tours and our education materials through those devices. So we're really thinking about the way that we've expanded digitally and really including that in this show in a really big and impactful way. So that's a really fun way to engage in the gallery, I think, more than just looking at the artwork, which is such an incredible experience too. But I think if you are more of a digitally minded person, that can also be a really fun way to access it.
And you'll probably find that most of the youngsters are more inclined towards the digital platform.
Yes, I think they will love that space in the show. And also all of this is accessible from home too. So if you are at home and are interested in the National Gallery and maybe haven't visited us before but want to check out what we have, you can access that virtual tour, those virtual tours and that digital collection all from our website, which is nationalgallery.org.ky.
Okay. Now, I know on previous occasions when you were here last year, concerns were about COVID and there were certain restrictions, as well. Can you tell our listening and viewing audience what the situation is now at the National Gallery in terms of the required precautions?
Of course. So we're back open. That's the main thing. So people can come, have the choice of, experiencing the gallery from home, the comfort of their own home on the website. But we want people to come on site. And when they do come on site, we have numerous hand sanitizers for people to use. We're asking people to wear their masks when they come inside. We have obviously the outdoor sculpture garden, and people are free to walk around out there in the fresh air. But inside, we are requesting people wear masks and use the hand sanitizer. Other than that, we are fairly back to normal. We the thing about the gallery that I love, and it's something that a lot of people take away from museums. What defines the museum experience? For me, it's that quiet, that quiet time, that reflective time. And our galleries are not usually busy, so you'll often have, especially if you come on the weekday, you kind of have the galleries to yourself. So we're not so concerned, thankfully, about having to impose limits on numbers, because that doesn't usually arise. You usually have plenty of space to spread out. We're also the site, less about COVID, but in terms of access, we've done a lot of work, not just on this idea of virtual access, but physically accessing our site. So for those with different mobility needs, we have wheelchairs and rollators on site. We have folding chairs as well for people who want to sit in front of an artwork. And we have ramps, so all of our buildings are now wheelchair accessible. And I think that's been really important, thinking about our community and ensuring that everybody can come into this space and be safe when they're there. And we have staff on site who are there to answer questions and direct visitors and just make the experience more enjoyable all around.
Am I allowed to bring my camera, use my camera phone, and take photos of the exhibits?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Okay, that's good to know as well.
Yeah.
You know?
And coming back to what we were just talking about, that digital room. So for me, I think it's also important from the angle or the perspective of this idea of archiving. So we have the Cayman Islands National Archives, who are charged with, looking after historical documents, important parts of our material culture. And for us at the gallery, our job is kind of the same. We're involved in this important project of archiving culture for posterity. So for me, one of the things about an exhibition is it's a fleeting experience. We have an exhibition. You've told our audience about the run dates of this one. This is up until the 26th of May. And, previously an exhibition would come down and that was the end of it. You'd seen it or you happened to miss it and it's gone by.
Yes.
And now with this digital space that we occupy, we're able to archive these exhibitions. So people who are off island, people, with kids who are away studying, they can come on our website and we've got these virtual tours. It's almost like you're in the space. I don't know if you've seen these tours. They're quite popular in the real estate space with people, looking, and you can walk around a house and see the living room, and then you turn around and it's as if you're in the kitchen. Well, we've done the same thing but with our exhibitions. So you can walk through the space in sort of 3D. You can turn around and walk through zoom in on the individual artworks. You can even click on the label, and then the label pops up and you can read it on your screen. And I think that's really remarkable. And now, of course, we've got this archive. We're building slowly, but this archive of past exhibitions that have already been and gone, but now they haven't just disappeared into the ether. They're saved for posterity, for future generations and visitors to see on our website.
And that actually includes all of the educational material for it as well. So you can even find things like the kids' worksheets online on those exhibition pages. So if you were at home, for example, with your kids and maybe you happen to be in quarantine or something, you can go back through those virtual tours, or you can look through the images from that particular show, and then you can do one of those activities alongside it. So it makes for a nice activity that you can do at home as well.
Sounds great. And now I know that we're talking about the exhibit, but please feel free if you want to, talk about other things as far as the National Gallery is concerned. We'll have until 10 o'clock. So if you want to go into other areas and talk about what the gallery is doing, I'm particularly interested in terms of your outreach programs that you have as well, and would love to hear about those also.
Yes. So as I mentioned, when lockdown happened, we had to adapt all of our programming quite a lot, and part of that was creating all of these online or alternative versions of the programs that we had been doing. And that includes everything from our after-school programs to some of those outreach programs, which include our Art Haven program, which we operate in Northward, Fairbanks, Caribbean Haven, and Bonaventure Boys Home. So we've been doing lots of different approaches with these programs over the past couple of years. For some of them, we've been creating worksheets or creating educational packets that we'll send to those organizations via online if we can't do in-person classes. But when we can do in-person classes, it's amazing, and it's great to build those connections in the community and off-site as well. And then we have done a lot of sort of video learning approaches, live Zoom classes. So we're working with a bit of a hybrid approach right now, where we're trying to meet the demands for both off-site online. So the off-site and online. So all of our education programs are sort of rotating and trying new and different approaches. For people who have never heard of the Art Haven program, I guess I should explain it a little bit more. So that is a program that we do with the institutions that I mentioned, and these are art classes to really support rehabilitation for individuals who have been incarcerated or have been struggling with any kinds of abuse issues. And we've really found that art is it's a method of wellness, right? It's something for both mental and physical wellness, I think, because they reflect each other, right? And so that program is something we do. We also have the Art and Wellness program. And with that, we offer different wellness classes at the National Gallery site. we like to think of our site as more than just a physical gallery space. It really is a community space for people to come in and just spend a couple quiet hours, like Will said, sitting in front of an artwork with one of the fold-out chairs or participating in one of those workshops. So we have meditation workshops, we have done healing circles, we have done sort of motivational speaking events. So there's quite a range of activities that people can do to just think about wellness a little bit more, or just have a couple quiet hours where they can feel a little bit more at peace in this crazy, hectic world that we live in.
Okay, good time for us to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No, can't stop me when I taste the feel.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Miss Maya Mutu and Mr. William Helfrich. They are from the National Gallery. We're talking, about their current exhibition at the National Gallery, People's Collection, a 25-year cultural legacy, run from the 28th of January until the 26th of May. So you have more than enough time to be able to view it, and there's so many ways for you to participate, for you to enjoy what is on display at the National Gallery as well. I'm going to ask our guests at some point in time to talk about also the history of art in the Cayman Islands. And off air, I was talking to them and telling them in my day, early days at school, I had friends, I knew people who were good at artistry, drawing, and but we didn't have any type of institution to nurture them, to bring them along. And of course, later on, we had our Bendel Hydes and others. But to me, art in the Cayman Islands as we know it. Now, there was artistry was there. You know, you spoke about the basket weaving, even the rope making. You know, in itself, you know, was an art. Turtle catching, there was an art in that as well. But in terms of paintings and drawings, we basically didn't have that. So if at some point in time, once you've covered everything that you want to cover, if you could talk to our audience about the history of art in the Cayman Islands, I think that they would enjoy that as well.
Absolutely. And this might actually be the opportunity now, actually, since you've brought it up. But I think you touched on a great point there, which is defining this big defining question: what is art? You know, because we have art and we have artistry, as you said. We have creativity, you know, in the widest possible term, because we have such a rich history in these islands of alternative forms of creative expression, you know, whether it be rope making or boat building, which we haven't mentioned, you know, the artistry. If anyone has seen one of Kem Jackson's catboats or many of the other esteemed boat builders that we have, you know, for me, that's a work of art as much as, say, a painting or a sculpture. But to take you through that history, and you mentioned Bendel Hides, in the late 60s, in about 68, 69, there was an American man who many of our audience will know called Ed Oliver, and he and his wife, Barbara, moved to Cayman in the late 60s, around the time, actually, Charles Long and his father, who was the commissioner and then the first governor, came to Cayman, and that was a kind of watershed moment. He ran a store on Shedden Road called Art Ventures, where the old across from the old Merrin department store on Shedden Road, and he started offering art instruction. And Bendel Hides was actually one of his very first pupils, and he learned to draw. If people remember, Ed Oliver was a wonderful draftsman, doing these beautiful pencil drawings. And those, for me, are wonderfully evocative, because he would go out to Northside and East End before the road. You know, we didn't have the road going around from where Moritz is to Northside, and beautiful stretches of empty coastline. But a wonderful draftsman, and he was Bendel's first teacher, Bendel Hides.
Okay.
And Bendel was at the high school, and he was actually one of the first. There were two young Caymanians, including Bendel, and they sat the CE, the GCE exam, as it was known at the time. And
General Certificate.
That's right, General Certificate
of Education. Yes.
In the fine arts. And back then you had to mail off your submission. So he had his drawings, and they were sent, you know, by mail to, I imagine, England, and he passed, you know, with flying colors. And then Bendel went on to be the first Caymanian to actually attend art school. He went to the Liverpool College of Art, which at the time was famous because John Lennon from the Beatles had just been a student a few years previously, and he then moved on to Canterbury College in England, and then he went and did a degree. He did something else in the United States at Clark University, but he came back, and it was sort of the seeds of a growing art scene. And in the 70s, about around the time of 1979, 1980, Bendel actually opened the first art gallery with Frank McField. It was on Mary Street, and the building is still there for those who know where Mary Street kind of curves and joins up with Shedden Road, and they had a little art gallery there. But as you say, there were not the resources, so there weren't spaces for showing art, and we didn't have this market that we have of people who appreciate the arts and buying work. So it was a bit of a struggle back then, but the Minister of Tourism and Aviation at the time, Jim Bodden, helped, you know, get that gallery off the ground. And I think they saw the value of recognizing, you know, even for our tourism industry, how important it is for people to be able to see Caymanian culture. And people would, you know, previously maybe your tourist would be buying a piece of thatch craft or a nice conch shell that had been polished up. But there was this, I think, awareness that our artists have really something to offer in terms of this cultural product. And at first, gallery spaces, you know, Bendel exhibited often in things like bank lobbies. So when we had the new CIBC building and the Legislative Assembly building, which had been built in 72. Yeah. In that nice vestibule, the lobby there, Bendel actually did an exhibition of quite modern and abstract work, which were quite confusing for people. I think they hadn't seen stuff like that before, and that was just held in the lobby of the Legislative Assembly. And then, of course, when the 1980s came along, Cayman was able to move forward with building the National Theatre and what is now the Harkwell Theatre. That opened in 1986. And soon after that, in 1990, the National Museum, the Old Courts building, of course, on the harbour front, in 1990 that opened, and Anita Ebanks was the first director. And that was our first, museum space that we had to show our work. And bringing it up to the present, of course, then the gallery was founded in 1997. The National Gallery of the Cayman Islands. But of course, for the first 15 years of our existence, we didn't have a permanent home. So we occupied a series of temporary spaces, including at the Harbour Centre. We had a space there opening in about 2002. And our first director, Leslie Bigelman, was a real driving force, and Carol Owen, our first chairwoman. And then after our second director, Nancy Barnard, played a huge role in kind of our exhibitions program, and also, as Maya will talk further on about education, realizing that a gallery is more than just four walls and a roof. It's what goes on inside it and beyond the walls. And so that, I think, was key to getting a sense of what the identity of a national gallery should be here in Cayman. And then in 2012. The day, in fact, we opened this exhibition, the 27th of January, 10 years previous to that, we opened our new site on Esterly-Tibbetts Highway. And that sort of brought us up to the present. And what we see now, I think, is we're reaping the rewards of having that cultural infrastructure, having the support from the Cayman Islands government. I mean, the amount of talent we have in these islands, and you've seen it. Things such as Cayman Art Week, which was a big arts festival that happened last year. The diversity of talent and the number of galleries, studio spaces, even in central Georgetown on Cardinal Avenue, there are spaces now popping up where artists have studios. And I think all of that is contributing to this vibrant art scene that we have today.
Excellent. Ms. Maya, over to you.
Yes, I think you said something that was really important, which is that, the art did exist, right? There was always artistry in Cayman, whether that is the traditional thatch baskets, or whether that's quilting, or whether that's rag rugs, or one of those traditional craft forms that are incredible pieces of art and artistry in and of themselves. And part of the remit for the gallery, through its education, but through all of its departments, really, is to foster that appreciation for those art forms. So being able to recognize, when you go into your grandmother's house or a friend's house and see those items around, that you recognize the beauty and significance of those pieces culturally. And I think even though we are not a commercial gallery, we are a space for sort of collecting and educating about the national pieces of artwork or pieces in our national collection. Part of that remit is, again, encouraging people to recognize the importance of this kind of industry. And I think over the past couple of years, we've seen the arts and culture industry grow quite exponentially. Yes. We have a lot of young artists in our community now who are full-time artists. Some of them, in the past, I think you would have seen a lot more artists who had full-time jobs and then maybe they were doing their art on the side, but there's a lot more people who are professionally working as artists now. And that industry is becoming, I think people are realizing that it is a financially viable industry in Cayman. So yeah, I think that's part of our work too, is just kind of growing the appreciation and understanding for the cultural and creative industries, really.
Okay, Ms. Susan, we're going to take this early commercial break because when we return, we want to switch gears again, go back to the exhibition. I want to give both Maya and Mr. Helfrich an opportunity for closing comments, reminders, to our public what's taking place, how they can participate, and always to remember it is free of charge as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Thinking of getting a hybrid but don't know much about them? Vamp Motors has 3 great reasons why you should own the Toyota CHR. Hybrid save fuel, run cleaner, reduce CO2 emissions, and even recharge their batteries while being driven. So there's no need to plug in a hybrid, making it both economical and fun to drive. And you don't have to replace your battery every 2 years. The CHR Hybrid is reliable, providing up to 1 million kilometers on the same battery and engine. Oh, and now you can save $2,000 off the Toyota CHR, starting at only $33,500.
That's way more than 3 reasons.
True, but the best one is that it's on sale now. Test drive the Toyota CHR today at Vamp Motors, Walkers Road, while stocks last.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Government's new recruitment portal offers job seekers a paperless online process that makes it easy to apply for more than one job anywhere, anytime. With this step forward in our online recruitment presence, you can keep track of outstanding applications and appointments and receive notifications about your applications. Visit the careers.gov.ky portal and use the new one-stop shop for civil service recruitments to further your career. Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the people's station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. We're talking about the People's Collection at the National Gallery, a 25-year cultural legacy as far as the Cayman Islands are concerned. This exhibition started on the 28th of January of this year and runs through the 26th day of May as well. So, again, we want to rehash, what is taking place, what people can expect, how they can participate in terms of enjoying it as well. So we're going to start with you, Ms. Maya.
Sure. So this exhibition, as you said, is called The People's Collection, a 25-year cultural legacy. And it really traces the evolution of the National Gallery and our acquisition history. So as Will said earlier, we have laid this exhibition out in a chronological layout so that people can actually follow the journey of the National Gallery from the very first piece that we acquired all the way through to some incredible new acquisitions that we have that people may never have seen before. So it's a great opportunity to learn about the history of the gallery and the history of the visual arts in Cayman. Admission is free, so you're welcome to come into the gallery, just have your mask on, use your hand sanitizer, and you're welcome to join us, use some of our education materials while you're in the space. That's for both adults and children. There are worksheets, there's sketching paper. You can grab a fold-out chair and do some sketching while you're on site. Which is a really great way to interact as well. We have QR codes in this exhibition, so you can listen to audio guides in both English and Spanish with the show as well.
And the hours of operation?
Hours are 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock, Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Helfrich.
Well, as I've said, when we come on your show, it's an opportunity to reach out and let folks know about our exhibitions and to extend that invitation. Please come. I think the title of this exhibition was a very conscious choice because, we see our role as custodians. We look after the collection, right? We don't own the collection. This is the People's Collection. It's held in trust for the people of the Cayman Islands. And I think part of our job as well as custodians of this collection is making sure it just doesn't sit in a warehouse gathering dust. It's about getting these works out getting them out to the public in whatever form that may take now in 2022, you know, both virtually and in person, because people always want to going to come and see objects firsthand, right? That's part of what makes the museum experience so special. It's that direct engagement with these incredible works of art. But we've also seen, with the opportunities we have for digital engagement, that there are other ways of engaging with work. And I think this exhibition is almost symbolic of that. It's this hybrid experience where you can come and see the works just as you always would have done in person, but through things like that digital access room that we've created, people are going to get to see how museums across the world have been adapting their offerings for the public. And one other aspect of this has been, I think, also us doing our own homework about these works. You know, I wasn't familiar with many of these pieces, and I think projects like this allow us to put our studying hat on. And part of what the National Gallery has been doing over the past 5 years under the directorship of Natalie Urquhart, who is our director, and she has really been instrumental in, I think, bringing this academic approach to the study of Caymanian art. We've published 4 book publications over the past 6 years, which I think is a real achievement, including a book that Natalie Urquhart authored called The Art of the Cayman Islands. And that book has been distributed along with all our other publications free of charge to all our schools on island and also to our public library branches. So, you know, books and scholarship is another form or another avenue, I think, for reading about and learning about arts here in Cayman.
Part of that is also the education programs that come along with this. For this particular show, and for many of the shows that we do, we have a full series of lunchtime lectures as well. Well, not really lectures, they're more of guided tours. So we do these curator-led tours through the gallery space. If you prefer to experience that, talking with a curator and having that walk through and that more social experience, this is a great way to do that and get a little bit of behind-the-scenes information and ask questions. So those are the first and third Wednesday of the month in English and the first Tuesday of the month in Spanish.
Oh, okay. Bilingual as well. Yes. So what message would you have to offer to those aspiring artists or those persons who are just thinking about entering into that world, either like you said, because it is also becoming financially profitable now, or they're doing it just as a part of their labor of love? Yeah. What advice would you give, both of you?
So we actually have a program at the gallery through the education department called Creative Careers. And that is a program where we work mostly with young people who are interested in pursuing any kind of creative career. So that is visual arts, but it can include a number of things. I mean, you could be interested in dancing or in cultural policy development, or like Will said earlier, in coding, or any kind of profession that would encourage cultural expansion or is interested in creative work. And I actually, funnily enough, did a career day talk virtually at John Gray today. And I guess there's a couple different things that I would say. And again, I say these with a caveat because I think everyone has a completely different experience when they are approaching a desired career, and everybody's path is a little bit different. My path might not be yours, might not be his. So I say these with a caveat, but I would say experimentation is really important. We have artists that even we work with at the National Gallery who, started doing drawing and only wanted to do drawing. But now we're working in ceramics and sculpture and mixed media. So it's about working with different types of mediums and just challenging yourself on a day-to-day basis, being unafraid to fail, because that kind of helps you to sort of weed out the things that maybe you aren't as well suited for. An example that I always give is that I thought I was going to be an actor at one point. I was determined to be an actor. I was I will be on that Oscar stage. This is mine. And I went and I did drama school auditions in the UK at some of the best drama schools in the world. And I failed at every single one of them. As you can see, I am not on the Oscar stage right now.
Not yet.
Well, but I think that taught me something about myself as well. And even in the places where you don't succeed the way that you think you're going to, you have options of either deciding, okay, maybe that isn't for me, or I'm going to keep pushing myself, and I am going to get good at this thing because it's something that I really want and I have the drive for. I think, in Cayman, in creative careers, there are probably a lot of young people who think, well, it's not viable here. How do I do that in Cayman? How do I make that work here? And I think we've seen more and more over the past couple of years, people who are really pushing to make it happen. There are some people who are professional artists who have said, well, even if there isn't an industry here right now, I will build one. So I think it's really about recognizing where those gaps are that you can fill. If there are gaps, you can fill them and create an even more blossoming industry here. And just kind of knowing yourself and being yourself and being authentic to who you are and what it is that you really want to pursue. And then, of course, saying that with the recognition that for some people, it's not always about just pursuing what you enjoy. Sometimes there are basic needs that come with that. Sometimes you do need to just pay the bills. Yes. And you have to think about that as well, right? So, yeah, I would say experiment, network, talk to people, ask us questions. We are here at the National Gallery. If you're someone who's interested in creative careers, come and talk to us because we're more than happy to sit down, tell you about our career journeys, make some suggestions or recommendations that you can or don't have to follow. But it's just nice to have those soundboards that you can talk to about what you're interested in.
And I know we're not fundraising or anything like that, but if persons want to support the National Gallery in other respects, how can they go about doing that?
Well, we're always happy to receive donations. So we have the old-fashioned donation boxes in our gallery spaces, and people have always been very generous, putting a few dollars in, and that's obviously one way. But getting in touch with us, 945-8111, the National Gallery's phone number, and speaking to our development team, because what I like to say is, people who donate to the National Gallery, and this exhibition has also been an opportunity to thank those people, because all of our labels, you'll see actually the provenance of these works, so how they came into the collection. And lots of local firms over the years have given very generously. Our chairperson, Susan Oldie, has been a big supporter. And in more recent years, the Cayman Islands government, so the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, if you go into the final space of this exhibition, you'll see a lot of these very impressive works have been funded through funding from the Cayman Islands government. And I think that with that funding has come an awareness of the value of where this money is going. You're investing, in a sense, in this country. You're investing in the cultural legacy of the Cayman Islands, and I think it's a very worthy cause because these works aren't going anywhere. We're going to be looking after these works for years to come, and you can come back and see them hanging on the wall one day, and there's a sense of pride, I think, in having contributed to something bigger, something worthwhile, such as preserving Caymanian culture, which is obviously very dear to all of us. I also think with this exhibition, it's really, for us, an opportunity, as I've said, to showcase younger artists as well as some of these established figures. So in that final room, you'll see your Bendel Hydes and your Al Ebanks and these other names that many of our audience might be familiar with. But we've actually got 3 artists in that middle room. I'm debating naming them, but 3 young, up-and-coming Caymanian artists who are all under the age of 25. Wow. And all 3 of those young artists have gone away to art school. They've benefited from, having scholarships and having education overseas. We'd love to see, a tertiary college here in Cayman that offers fine arts degrees, but for the time being, our young Caymanian creatives are going overseas to get their fine art degrees. But a lot of these artists have come back, and to see the growth and the kind of sophistication of their work that I think education has added, and to see them displayed alongside these other figures, for me was, I feel I'm only a few years older than them, but, really proud in what these artists have achieved, and to see that the next generation is coming along, Excellent.
So, again, let's remind our audience of The dates, the exhibition, what it's all about. One more time. We've got to continue to hammer it home.
So the People's Collection is open until the 26th of May. It is free admission, so you can come into the gallery, spend some time with us, pull out a chair, spend some time with the work in a little bit more detail than you might normally would. I think a lot of us, you go into a museum and you tend to rush through because you want to see everything, but it's nice sometimes to just slow down. We're here all the time. We're here until the 26th of May, so you've got time to come back a couple of times if you'd like to. And then you can also participate in some of the education programs that go along with this show. One of those we talked about the tours that we do. So we have curatorial tours on lunch hours, and then we are also doing a short course which is going to look at the evolution of the visual arts in Cayman. So kind of a little bit about what we talked about earlier, but it will be a much more intensive version of that. So it'll be a great way to learn about that history if you're someone who's really keen on learning about that. And to participate in any of these education programs, you can call us 945-8111 or send me an email at education@nationalgallery.org.ky.
Okay, I want to thank you all very much, for being here. Wish you all the success, as well. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy and I believe still wet roads of the Cayman Islands. Ms. Susan, they're still wet. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.